Sorry. So, on the third day, 3 days after being with Alhaji Kabilu, now we had a connection car, now which has to take us through the Sahara Desert to a town in Algeria called Tamarasset. And in fact, now we all gathered our food. Fortunately, we had, Niger is a West African country, and so there was Gary. We bought Gary, we bought sugar, we had some biscuits, and then we also bought a gallon for water. And admittedly, one important commodity on the Sahara Desert is water. And for me, between water and food, I would choose water. Because if you are thirsty, now you bring your food and I give you small water to drink. You understand? So, and they have a technology where you have a gallon and then you cover it with a sack, either cocoa sack or salt sack or whatever. And I can assure you, it can chill in spite of the sun. Now it can chill the water. I mean, more than it is in the fridge. And so we bought that gallon, which is covered with those sacks, and we started our journey at night on the Sahara Desert. Honestly speaking, those who advised me, my friends who gave me information about the Sahara, never discussed with me the coldness on the Sahara Desert. So I thought probably the weather on the Sahara Desert is similar to what we have in Ghana here. But alas, it was quite a different environment. Coldness was at its highest peak. And I never bought a jacket. And so I actually suffered on the Sahara Desert. On our second day, we got to a point where we need to fetch water. And we got to a point where it was a stagnant water. I will not even call it, this is not a river. A stagnant water where camels were standing at one side, drinking and shitting in the water. And then we were asked to fetch the water. And at times you can even see worms. But you cannot avoid it. You have to drink. You have to take that water and drink. Because like I told you, the most important commodity on the Sahara Desert is water. Because if you run short of water, now death will actually strike you. So, we traveled for that long and we were sleeping in an open spaces. And that reminded me of a quotation when I was in my sixth form doing RS. There's a quotation in the Bible which says that foxes have holes, the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nothing on his head, has nowhere to lay his head. And my lecturer was telling us that confirmed that Jesus was a hustler. And the man in the generic sense can be any other man. In fact, we have been born hustlers. And so we have nowhere to lay our head, but we slept in the open Sahara. And you can imagine the coldness on the Sahara Desert. But on the third day, we managed to reach Tamarasset. And let's look at what happened when we got to Tamarasset in our next episode.